Hello, welcome. My name is SlugMTG, and today is the start of a new series that I'm calling Hopeful Homebrews, which is basically a place that I want to put my more experimental decks. It might seem similar to Hyper Budget Pauper, especially at first, although I eventually want to move away from just strictly budget decks, and I want to save Hyper Budget Pauper for decks that are definitely reliable and provide more of a bang for your buck, and I want this series to be more of a place for just decks that I'm not sure if they'll work, and more of a testing grounds and seeing if an idea is there, and then maybe eventually coming back to decks and reworking them a bit. But for now, I do have a deck that I am calling not Voltron. Ironically enough, even though this isn't Hyper Budget Pauper, I think this is the cheapest deck that I have made so far, as it comes in for less than a tick as of filming right now, at 0.95 online. So the only thing is, I'm not sure how this deck is going to work. My initial testing is that it can work, although it's not the most reliable deck. But I do want to share it with you guys, because I think it's super fun, and it is built around the recent downshift of Kazol's Toll Collector. But as we're getting into specific cards, let's move on to Magic Online. So the card that we are building around Kazol's Toll Collector is a 3/2 for 2 in a red, and basically for free we can attach target equipment you control to Kazol's Toll Collector, activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. So it's not at instant speed, but all of our equipment basically has an equipped cost of 0, and that's actually very nice. So we are building around that. Unfortunately, we are forced to run only 4 copies. We would like more because we do need more creatures. So to add more creatures into the deck, we have Militant Inquisitor, which is a 2/3 for 2 and a white, and it gets +1/+0 for each equipment you control, which is very nice because just by having the equipment, Militant Inquisitor is going to get bigger. And then we also have Goblin Gavalier, which is a 1/1 for a single red mana, and it has Trample, and it gets +2/+0 for each equipment attached to it. So this thing can get massive very quickly. But let's go ahead and talk about the specific equipment that we'll be using. We are running a quarter shield, 3 of, and equipped creature gets +0/+3 and has vigilance, and this costs 0 to put down. So as long as we have a Kazol's Toll Collector, this is basically just a freeze spell, as we play it for free and then we get to equip it for free. Especially with Goblin Gavaliers and an equipment that we'll talk about in just a little bit. It raises power, not toughness, and so just having something that bolsters Kazol's ability to just stick on the battlefield is going to be really nice, as we do not want it to get removed. And one of the spells that we are scared of is Edict effects. So we do have Flare Husk to help with that weakness, as it comes down as a living weapon, which means this gets attached to a 0/0 black germ creature token as it enters the battlefield, and equipped creature gets +1/+1. So it can act as edict fodder or just another creature if we need them for extra blockers or something. And then when the germ token has expended its usefulness, we can then equip it to one of our other creatures and help bolster them up. And then another downshift that made its way into the deck is Golem Skin Gauntlets, which is an equipment for 1, and equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each equipment attached to it. So that's going to be very nice with our Toll Collector, and it's just going to let our creatures grow massive very quickly and be able to close out games and just have a very scary threat very quickly. And it's not uncommon for us to get 2 of these attached to a creature, so the power can grow massively. And then yet another downshift that made its way into this deck, so that's actually kind of cool that we're using a lot of the new cards, is Ancestral Blade for 1 and a white. When this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, then attach Ancestral Blade to it, and equipped creature gets +1/+1. So it makes another token, and the cool thing about this is the token is a 1/1, which means it sticks around. So we can unequip Ancestral Blade, and we still have the token, protects against edict effects, and we can use it as a jump blocker. So this is actually very nice. We are running 3 copies of Horned Helm, which is an equipment for 2, and equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has Trample. So it gets around chump blockers and helps us finish off the game. We are running 4 copies of Nurok Stealth Suit, which is a phenomenal equipment in here, because the other thing, other than edict effects that can get rid of our creatures, are just direct kill spells, especially with cast down running everywhere around the format. And it is an equipment for 2. Equipped creature has Shroud, and we can pay blue to attach Nurok Stealth Suit to target creature you control. This is basically an equip at instant speed. So one thing that has happened before is I have Kazul's Toll Collector down on the field and Nurok Stealth Suit. I move to equip, and they, in response, try to kill the Toll Collector, and then I pay the blue and attach it immediately. That way the kill spell fizzles, Kazul's Toll Collector stays around, and normally Shroud isn't the best, because obviously it means that you can't target the creature as well, and all of these equip abilities are targeted, so you attach them to target creature you control. However, with Kazul's Toll Collector, we can use its 0-cost ability to just move equipment onto the Toll Collector. So even though the Toll Collector has Shroud, we can still move equipment onto it without having to detach and risk an instant speed kill spell. So that's really cool. I love that interaction. So that is all of the equipment that we're running to help round out our mana base, because we are running 3 colors. I am running a 4 of Prophetic Prisms. It helps us draw cards and fix our mana, so that's very nice. And then because we are running so many artifacts, we have Thoughtcast as well, which basically draw 2 cards for 1 mana. Great rate, can't go wrong. And then the last card, we are running 2 Galvanic Blasts. I needed something to fill in the last 2 slots, and at first I had Prohibits, because the biggest thing I was worried about were kill spells, and Prohibits can stop that. Although I quickly found out that the deck's biggest weakness is just all-out aggro, and if we can clear the board just a little bit with Galvanic Blast and get rid of their most powerful creature, then oftentimes that can buy us just enough time to really start to get rolling. So I swapped over to Galvanic Blast, and I think it works a lot better. It can help us finish the game a little bit faster too. And then looking at our land base, we have 4 Evolving Wilds and 2 Terramorphic Expanse. They do the same thing, and they help us fetch whichever colors that we need. We are running 2 plains for the Ancestral Blades and Militant Inquisitors. We are running 7 mountains, as this is the main color of the deck with the Galvanic Blast, the Cavaliers, and the Toll Collectors. We really want that red mana, and so we are running 7. Then we are also running 4 islands for the Thoughtcast, as well as the Nurok Stealth Suits. So oftentimes just having 2 islands in play is all you need. So we're only running 4 of them. So that's pretty much it for the main board. Let's move on to sideboard. And as far as the sideboard goes, we are running 3 Journey to Nowheres in case we need some more removal against bigger threats. We are running 2 Leave No Trace against Boggles and other enchantment decks. 3 Lone Missionaries against Burn, and the fact that I don't think there's any good equipment with lifesteal on it in Pauper, so Lone Missionary does give us that life gain that we need. 2 Electricaries against decks that just have a bunch of creatures at 1 toughness. And we are running 3 Abrade, as it can destroy target artifacts and destroy Atogs as well against the Affinity matchup. And then against Tron and other things like that, we are running Fling, as it's not that uncommon for our creature to get absolutely massive, especially with the Golem Skin Gauntlets, and we can just steal a game that normally wouldn't be ours. So that is the deck in a nutshell. We have ways to protect our guy that we want to protect, and the good thing about it is, unlike auras, equipments don't go to the graveyard when the creature they're attached to dies, so it is a little resilient. But let's go ahead, hop into some games, and see how we do, and then we can talk about what we think of the deck once we're done. All right, so we have our first game here, and we lost the die roll. This is a very weird opening hand, although we can play Flayer Husk the first turn, and we have an Evolving Wilds to get red mana, so I think I will actually keep this, and we're on the draw. They play a Swamp, so we're probably up against Cast Down, which means that we want the Stealth Suits. And we get a Toll Collector, so that's very nice, although we do want another land. So let's just go ahead and play a Flayer Husk, and pass turn. So Mountain, Rakdos, oh, Burn, so Rakdos, Burn, maybe? I don't know, that's weird. Actually, there is a point to swinging in. If they swing in, then we can play the Mountain and kill off the Thermo Alchemist, so maybe they'll block. Swing in, come on, block. No, they didn't block. Okay, so I guess we will just go ahead and play the Golem Skin Gauntlets and the Evolving Wilds and get ready to play the Toll Collector next turn. Pass turn. Mountain. They ping us for damage. What is this? They exile Rift Bolt, and at their end step, we will sacrifice the Evolving Wilds. I mean, I should probably get a Plains, just in case. Yeah, I think I'll grab a Plains, because we have a Mountain in hand. Comes back to us. We get a Prophetic Prism, so that's quite nice. My biggest concern is that they can just bolt the Kazul's Toll Collector. Although another thing I can do is I can play the Prophetic Prism, which turns on the Metalcraft for Galvanic Blast. And then we can just kill the Thermal Alchemist, which might be what we want to do. So let's go ahead, take this a little slower. Let's play the Prophetic Prism. We have 3 artifacts now. We draw another mountain, so that's very nice. And then let's go ahead, Galvanic Blast the Thermal Alchemist. Kill that, and swing in. I wanted to do it there, that way they didn't get a chance to untap with the Thermal Alchemist and potentially use it as a blocker for the Germ. And I believe that is all I can do, so pass turn. And the Rift Bolt comes back, most likely going to hit us in the face, and it does. So we're down to 16. They play Faithless Looting. Oh, they're a Madness deck. So kind of Madness Burn, perhaps? So yeah, we take 6 damage. Down to 10. Yeah, that Alms of the Vein just gained them some life, and some more life with the Bloodfell Caves. Comes back to us, and we have Thoughtcast. So I think what I want to do is swing in, and then let's go ahead and play the Toll Collector, play the Mountain, and then we'll just go ahead and play the Golem Skin Gauntlets, and we might as well just attach now. And then next turn we can play the Thoughtcast and see what else we can get. Pass turn. So they paid for the Rift Bolt to zap the Kazul's Toll Collector, which is honestly not that bad because then we can just attach it to the Germ token. And it essentially gained us 3 life, as that's a burn spell they used not on us. And they have the Gurmag Angler and the Militant Inquisitor. I actually quite like that. I want to get rid of the Gurmag Angler. So the best thing for us might be to play the Militant Inquisitor. It'll come down and then save a Galvanic Blast for when they swing in with the Gurmag Angler, and then we can block with the Germ token and then Galvanic Blast to kill it, which might be good. So I think we have to hold off on Thoughtcast again. We'll play the Inquisitor, which they might not even swing in with the Gurmag Angler now. Although if they have a Bolt, they will. I think I have to hold off for now. See, this is where Nurok Stealth Suit would be wonderful. And they move to attacks. Will they swing in? They will. That is exactly what we want. They'll most likely bolt that. That's fine. So we essentially gained another 3 life there, and we will move to block this. And we will Galvanic Blast the Gurmag Angler. Cannot do anything else, and the field is wiped. They have 1 card in hand. Oof, we draw an Evolving Wilds. It's not quite what I want. Let's go ahead and draw 2 cards. No creatures. That's not good. Play the Termorphic Expanse. I will go ahead and pay 2 for the Horned Helm, and we'll bluff that we're holding up another Galvanic Blast or something, even though we just used the 2 in the deck. Yeah, drawing a creature would have been great, and I guess we'll just pass turn. We can crack the Termorphic Expanse at their end step. End step, we'll crack, grab the blue, pass back to us. The Gavalier, that's really nice. I just don't know what they're holding in their hand. They probably have something to kill it. So do we force them to use it? I mean, if they're holding cards in hand instead of burning us, they might be backed up with Madness spells that are otherwise too expensive to cast. Fiery Temper is instant, so they could be holding it for our end step. Although, if they have it, I'd rather... Okay, let's just play it. That way, if they do use their burn spell, it's against this guy and not us. So let's go ahead, equip. And this way it saves us a little bit of mana. And then I guess I'll just equip the Flare Husk just to buff up the toughness so it's not at 1. And we'll just pass turn. They don't kill it at our end steps. That's a good sign. Faithless Looting. That's not what I want to see, but okay. Yep, they bolt the Goblin Gavalier. Pass back to us. We get another Golem Skin Gauntlet, so... I think I'll just play the Evolving Wilds, keep that card in my hand, and pass turn, we will crack the Evolving Wilds at their end step. They gain a life from the Bloodfell Caves. Then we will sacrifice the Evolving Wilds. Probably just for another mountain. That's back to us. Really? Oh boy. Alright, well this is a very exciting match. How much is the flashback for Bump in the Night? For 6. They can actually cast it. Instead they will flashback Faithless Looting. And there is the Alms of the Vein and Chain Lightning. So I will actually pay to do this. And we will hit them, you know? They can take it. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before, so it's pretty exciting. End step, we'll sacrifice this for an island in case we get like a thought cast into a Neurok stealth suit and a creature, and we're dead. Alright, so let's begin sideboarding. That's a very interesting deck we're up against. We definitely want the Lone Missionaries. I don't think anything else is really useful. Fling might be useful. I think the big thing we want, though, is the Neurok stealth suits. So if we go in the Lone Missionaries, what do we get rid of? I think we just get rid of the Militant Inquisitors because they don't really do that much. Although if we get one equipment that can increase toughness, then Militant Inquisitor gets bumped out of bolt range. Honestly, we might just want more creatures. If I cut one, maybe 2 Prophetic Prisms and go in 2 Militant Inquisitors, I think that'll be okay. We get more creatures, we get Lone Missionary for the life gain, and I think that'll be good. I would love to play first, thank you. We have the Stealth Suit, 2 Gavaliers, Kazul's Toll Collector. The only thing we're missing is equipments, but I think we'll keep this. So let's go ahead and play the Mountain, play the Gavalier, pass turn. Next turn, we'll play the Stealth Suit. We'll see. Okay, so they start off with Evolving Wilds. Draw another Stealth Suit, so that's actually kind of nice. I guess we'll just swing in for 1, play the Stealth Suit, and pass turn. Oh, they forgot to crack their Evolving Wilds. Oh no! Oh, if they don't have another land and they can't get rid of the Goblin Gavalier, that might have just cost them the game, because I don't know if they have another way to get rid of the Gavalier. They have another Evolving Wilds, although they grabbed a swamp, not a mountain, although now they grab the mountain. Okay, well, we grab a mountain. While they're tapped out, I might want to play the Kazul's Toll Collector and equip it with the Stealth Suit. So let's swing in for 1, and we will play the Toll Collector and equip the Stealth Suit. So they cannot kill it, and we'll pass turn. And this is kind of right where we want to be. Our main guy has Shroud. And, oh, okay, well, this time we can't pay for the red. They haven't, oh, they get rid of it anyway. Okay, so, yeah, not much we can do, although that did force them to burn a lot of cards, and if only we drew a land. So let's play the Goblin Gavalier, and let's go ahead and equip here. Do we play the Accord? Nah, I think we'll just hold it in hand, because we can't really do anything with it, and we'll just pass turn. We'll see if they have another Edict. Curse of the Pierced Heart, okay, and Bump in the Night, so definitely on the burn path, and Rift Bolt is suspended. We'll always yield to that. We do have the Kazul's Toll Collector. They are tapped out, so this, we'll do that after, so we can swing in, and we'll go ahead and play the Kazul's Toll Collector, play the Accorder Shield, we'll attach the Stealth Suits, we'll attach these shields, and I guess we will pass turn. Here comes the Rift Bolt, and they choose to get rid of the Gavalier. They might have another Edict in hand then. Here comes the Faithless Looting. What Madness cards do they hit? They hit both Fiery Temper and Alms of the Vein, so that's not too good for us. Hopefully we hit our life gain here soon. An Evolving Wilds, not quite what I was hoping for. How much does it cost to cast this? So it up all of our mana, although we don't really have anything else to do, so I think, oh man, okay, well now we hit 3 of our 4 Stealth Suits, which is not quite what we're looking for, but let's go ahead, swing in for 3. What we really want is the Golem Skin Gauntlets right now. Play an Evolving Wilds, and pass turn, we can crack it at their end step for a Plains. Sovereign's Bite. Are we dead here? Not yet. What we really want is our life gain. So Evolving Wilds into the Plains. Hopefully Lone Missionary, please. Golem Skin Gauntlets. Okay, that is what I wanted. Well, one of the things, and we can actually play everything out right here. So Golem Skin Gauntlets, 1 Neurok Stealth Suit, another Neurok Stealth Suit, and let's start buffing this guy up. So unfortunately, this isn't quite lethal next turn. Am I dead regardless? So I need them to whiff here. I need them to hit a land. Come on, land. They didn't. Okay. Yep, that's game. GG. That's a very interesting deck. I don't know. That's weird. I kind of like it. What would we have drawn? We were quite a bit away from our, yeah, okay. We were nowhere close. And the Prophetic Prism, we would have drawn that. So, no. Oh well. So our second game here, we won the die roll. We would like to play first. And we have equipments, lands. I guess we'll keep this. We will have to play an Evolving Wilds first. So play that, pass turn, and we will Evolving Wilds at their end step. And Scoured Barrens, attack that for a mountain. Okay, and we don't really have any one drop, so I think other than the Gavalier. So let's play the Gavalier, and then I think I will just go ahead and play the Terramorphic Expanse, and with that I will fetch a blue, but for now we will pass. Basilica, bouncing back the Scoured Barrens, which is nice because we will be able to play the A Quarter Shield and then equip it. Tap and sack for 2. Back to ourselves, and they do have to discard. Discard a Witch's Cottage, and we grab another Gavalier. So let's go ahead and play the Plains, get the A Quarter Shield down, and we will equip and swing in. And so they take 3, and we pass the turn. They play the Scoured Barrens again, gain another life, and they just pass back. Okay. Let's play the Mountain. I can go ahead and play the Golemskin Gauntlets and the Gavalier. So the Gavalier can eat up an Edict effect. So let's go ahead, play the Gavalier, play the Golemskin Gauntlets, equip the Golemskin Gauntlets, and do, okay, they don't have a kill spell yet. And we will hit for 7. Okay, now they have something. See, cast down. That's why we want the stealth suit, and we are running 4 copies of it, and we haven't hit it, which is fine. Nothing else we can do, so we'll just pass turn. Spirit and Core. Okay, so 2/2 flyer, deflects damage. Alright. Island. That's not bad. We just need a Toll Collector and a stealth suit, or at least a stealth suit now. We'll play the island, and we will equip, and we will equip. So now a 7/4, we will swing in, we choose not to block. So this is probably a Pestilence build, but what's the point of it? I guess the Spirit Encore work with Guardian of the Guild Pact? I guess it does, but now they just need a Pestilence or Guardian of the Guild Pact. Read the bones. They bottom 2 cards, so they're definitely digging for something. And they play, what on earth is this? Daru Spiritualist. So whenever a cleric creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, it gets +0/+2 of turn. So some sort of inside out. You can keep targeting Daru Spiritualist to buff up its toughness basically indefinitely. It's actually really annoying. Now I can't swing in. I need to get rid of the Spirit Encore. But if they're going to do that, then I might as well just put everything down, use up all the mana I can, and make them click a bunch. So here Galvanic Blast would be pretty good. So we equip everything. We now have a 14/8, and we'll make them click a bunch to block it. That's right. Keep clicking. Keep clicking. I haven't seen enough yet. Alright, this is overkill now. Okay, why is there no ability to like yield through the stack? Now I have to hit through all this. So they have a 1/21 creature, and there's nothing we can do, so we'll just pass turn. And we have built a comfortable 5-second lead on our opponent, so we are doing really well on time. Yeah, I really want Galvanic Blast now. Okay, this has to be Inside Out combo. They don't have the mana for Inside Out. What is this? They keep going. I mean, they have a lot of activations. They are still going. Look at all this. I mean, they just keep going. Yeah, you can do it infinitely. Not really sure what they are building towards. There's probably some card that deals damage or something equal to its toughness. Okay, well, that 5-second lead has turned into almost a 2-minute lead, so that's great for us. And now all of those abilities are going off, I guess, yeah? I mean, I'm not sure why they were building up that much. Is it a card that mills? Is this some weird mill combo deck? I mean, they're gonna have like well over 100 toughness. Okay, well, they stopped at a 197 creature. Okay, nope. Okay, 199 creature. And they're still going. What on earth is this? I mean, they've been doing this for over 4 minutes at this point. And whatever they're doing, they have enough to win, I'm sure. So I don't know what they're doing other than I guess they're just having fun and building it up ridiculously large for a screenshot or something. If I see the screenshot on the subreddit later, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably just comment, but still. Okay, so the toughness is now at 195. They are tapping mana for something. It's Severed Strands, so gain life equal to the sacrifice's creature's toughness, destroy target creature and opponent controls. Okay. So it's a bit more understanding as to why they wanted to gain so much life. They probably are a Pestilence build, but what on earth? Okay, let's Thoughtcast. We get a Flare Husk and a Prophetic Prism, so let's go ahead and draw a card with Prophetic Prism. We get a Militant Inquisitor. So I do kind of want to play both of these at the same time. Just, I mean, if they have the Pestilence, they have the Pestilence. So let's just play the Flare Husk just to get something down. And we'll go ahead and equip the Golem Skin Gauntlets. And I guess we'll just pass turn. So we have quite the uphill battle against us now. It's a neat little combo. Biggest concern about it is there's just so many pieces to it. So how much of their deck is revolving around that combo? Ooh, Kazol's Toll Collector is actually very nice. Because now I can play both the Militant Inquisitor and the Toll Collector. Let's swing in. They take the 3, so they're almost down to 200 life. So I think we're doing really well. And if we're winning this game, we have to play a little faster. So let's play all this and just attach things and pass turn. We do have a significant time advantage, so the longer we can drag this game out, the more likely we're going to win. My biggest problem with the combo that they pulled off is, yeah, it makes them that much harder to kill, but it doesn't help them win. Let's play the Prophetic Prism. Draw a card. They probably have a kill spell for the Toll Collector. So let's play the Stealth Suit. That is exactly what we wanted. Come on, don't cast a kill spell now. Wait for it to be on. Yes, okay. Let's attach that. They attempt to cast down. Let's add blue, and then there we go. So instant speed. If they have another one, then there's not much we can do about it. But then we burn 2 cards out of them. Wow, okay, so that's awesome. Cool, okay, I'm happy. And now we can swing both of these in and wonder what they'll do. We got them below 200 life. If they're not blocking with their Spirit Encore, they need to be attacking. Because I'm at 18 life. There's what are they doing to help end the game? Okay, so Thoughtcast into Thoughtcast Evolving one. Okay, well, Thoughtcast again. Gazol's Toll Collector and Goblin Cavalier. They're fine, I guess. Let's play the Evolving Wilds. I probably should have cracked the Evolving Wilds first, just so to thin out the lands a little bit, but I don't think it matters too much. And I guess we'll go ahead, swing in with these 2 again. I need to stop talking and start playing because time is going to become probably the win condition between these 2 decks. And I'll just play these out. No, I won't. I'll keep the Toll Collector behind. And the reason for that is they might be a Pestilence deck, so I don't want to just play out all my creatures and have them all die. What is this? Okay, so it's another one of the toughness bolsters. And they're doing it again. I mean, I probably shouldn't just F6 through all this, but I want them to burn as much time as possible. And even if they kill something like the Militant Inquisitor, I'm not bumping the Stealth Suit off of my Toll Collector, because the Toll Collector is my most prized creature at the moment. That is what I want to survive. And the Militant Inquisitor, having it die would stink, but I would rather keep the Toll Collector over the Inquisitor. Even if I have another one, if I lose 1 turn of attacking, that might come back to bite me. What I really want is another Golem Skin Gauntlet. That would be great. Well, once it gets close to the end of the stack, I won't F6. Because I guess if they had a kill spell, they would have used it against the Inquisitor already. What are they? Are they still going? Okay, what are you building up for? Okay, so they're targeting themselves with Devour Flesh. So they gain a bunch of life, but they're not winning. I guess I will go with another island. There's a Thought Cast. Let's cast the Thought Cast. And there's another Stealth Suit, so that's actually great. I could put it on the Gavalier, but I pretty much just want everything on the Toll Collector. So with the Stealth Suit, let's equip to the Militant Inquisitor this time around. That way it sticks around, they can't kill it. And I will play the Flayer Husk. I will leave this the 2 mana open to bump a Stealth Suit around if I need it, and I think I'll just go ahead and have Toll Collector just eat all of the... There we go. They don't do anything, so it comes back to us. Let's play the Flayer Husk and attach it to the Toll Collector. Even if they have Devour Flesh, then we can just... or something that makes a sacrifice, we'll get rid of the Gavalier, and then we'll just play the Toll Collector after. And right now, we just need as much damage as possible, because this is a lot of life to burn through, and I need to stop talking and start playing. I mean, I think the deck idea is cool, what they're trying to do, but I just don't think it is something that can be pulled off online. I'm actually concerned that they have multiple edict effects. It might be worth playing the Toll Collector now. I'll play it now. If they have a Pestilence, then they have a Pestilence. And they just pass back? Yep, they pass back. We get an Evolving Wilds. That's not what we want. Normally, I would like to hold lands in my hand, but I think I'm going to play it just so we can thin out the deck a little bit more. We will swing in for 26, which would normally be lethal, but now it barely makes a dent. And I have no idea what my opponent is doing. They have 6 cards in hand and nothing useful. Let's grab the last island. We get a land. Okay, we'll hold that one in our hand. And I need to move here, so let's attack. We only have 26 cards left in our library, so hopefully we will be able to deal enough. I mean, we should. Our clock is faster than them just kind of milling us. If they aren't blocking with their Spirit Encore, they need to be attacking us. Perfect. That is exactly what I want. So that speeds up our clock considerably. Swing in for what, 37 points of damage, and we pass the turn. Back to us. We get a Prophetic Prism. We'll play out the Prophetic Prism, draw a card. It's another Kazol's Toll Collector. Okay. That one I think I will hold in hand. I mean, they discarded Devour Flesh, I guess? Or no, they didn't. All right, so they take more damage. They're almost back to under 100 life, which is really bad for them. I think the deck that they are playing would be really good against things like Burn, or I guess some Pestilence builds that rely on just kind of hovering at a higher life total than the opponent. Castigate. Okay. I just don't see how this deck wins. So we'll play the Mountain. We'll make them think we have something different in our hand, even though we don't. Let's bring him back under 100. Gotta keep reminding myself to play fast. Don't want to run out on time. The guy is saying, like, concede please. No one wins this game. Like, no, I win this game. You can't kill my creatures, and I'm swinging in for over 30 damage every turn, so I win this game. And you're running out of time, so I win the match. The guy's telling me that I need to concede. I know part of playing online is the timer. I will play the Ancestral Blade. The guy's saying that they have infinite life. I don't know really what that... I don't know if they have infinite life, but I guess they can... Okay, so I think let's take a moment to talk about this. And they said they're bored, bye. But since that match took a while, let's just call it there. And I think we can gain the... because I think we have a good idea of what the deck is capable of. But before we get to the deck itself, let's go ahead and talk about what just happened. So the guy obviously did have infinite life. They had infinite life, and I guess technically if we were playing on paper, I wouldn't necessarily have been able to kill them. Although there are two problems that I have with that. One, we are playing online and there is a timer. The timer is a win condition, and especially for combo decks, they have to be very careful with the timer. There is a reason that a lot of combo decks aren't played online. if Pauper was a format that was played on paper, you would see a lot more combo decks, I think, but because it's primarily played online, you have the timer to deal with, and if you're constantly having to click through everything, then it eats up a lot of the time, as we've just seen. And the biggest problem that I have with their deck is they got infinite life, but they had no win condition. So they had infinite life, then what? They weren't swinging in with their creature. It was flying, so I couldn't block it, but that was up until I would get a Galvanic Blast or something. So they got infinite life, but they didn't do anything with it. In my past videos, you've seen me concede to combo decks once they have established a victory. Once Wall Combo gets infinite mana and plays the Bloodright Invoker, I will concede, because it's kind of rude to make them play out when they already have the victory, and I just think it's the right and nice thing to do for me. Not maybe for other people, but for me at least, it's something that I want to do. The problems that I have with their deck is you can't just gain infinite life and then tell your opponent to concede. Like, sure, you gained infinite life, but what are you doing with it? There's no win condition. And I wasn't paying attention to their deck size, but at least for my deck size, I was good to go for another 20 plus turns. So I just don't know what they were doing, and you can't get mad at your opponent for not scooping when there's no win condition. It's an interesting deck. I think it's kind of cool, but it doesn't have a place online because it eats up so much time, and what win condition are you going for? If it's Pestilence, that kind of makes a bit more sense, but then even with Pestilence, your creatures are going to die, and which will make Pestilence wipe off the field. Like, you need some sort of win package. It can't just be infinite life. Infinite life is not a win condition. So if you guys have a different opinion about it, let me know. But to me, I don't see myself being in the wrong there, and there's no way I'm conceding when the opponent hasn't shown a way on how they win. If they really had infinite life, they should have been swinging in with their creature, but they weren't, and they were going to run out on time regardless anyway. So you got to play towards some type of win condition, and if you don't have it, then don't be mad at your opponent for not scooping. But I think we will go ahead and call the video there. Moving away from that match, back to the deck. The deck itself is very interesting, I think. The biggest problem that the deck has that I find is the variance, whereas in the first match where we lost against the Rakdos burn list, what we really wanted was the stealth suit, but unfortunately we just didn't find it, and our creatures just kept getting eliminated and we were slowly whittled down. Versus in that last game that we played, we had the stealth suits, our creatures couldn't die, and we were able to just grind our way to a win. So let's talk about possible ways the deck can be changed to help cover that weakness, because I feel like that is the biggest weakness the deck itself has, which is why I put in the Thoughtcast and the Prophetic Prisms to help get through the deck a little bit faster and hopefully find the piece that we specifically need. But with that much variance, either the deck works or it doesn't work. One early iteration of the deck did have Trinket Mage in there to try and tutor for specific, since it does grab the Golem Skin Gauntlets, it does grab the Flayer Husk, it does grab the Accorder Shield, but unfortunately, looking at the list of equipments that Pauper has to offer, Pauper does not have that many good 1 or 0 cost equipments, at least ones that would really be worth running and including Trinket Mage in the list. The equipments that we really want over and over again is basically the stealth suits, the gauntlets, and then either Flayer Husk or Ancestral Blade can really work in this area. And so Pauper just doesn't really have enough 1 cost or less artifacts to really go the Trinket Mage toolbox kind of route. So the deck is very inconsistent, but if you can manage to land the Toll Collector with protection, then the deck can win very quickly. It doesn't really have a problem with shutting out games. So when the deck works, it's good, but I just think the biggest weakness that the deck has is just the inconsistency and the lack of really good, cheap equipments in Pauper. Maybe in the future, if there is a 1 or 0 cost equipment that does give Hexproof or Shroud or maybe even like lifelink and trample and all that stuff. If there is an equipment that eventually just gives like keyword soup or something, then maybe you can include Trinket Mage in the deck and fetch out the specific equipments, and that might help the deck be a bit more reliable. The other main weakness is because we can't tutor equipments, we have to include a lot of them in the deck. So they do take up quite a big portion, which leaves us fewer answers for what our opponent is doing. And going back to that last game a little bit, basically, even if they were swinging in with their creature, all it took was for us to draw one Galvanic Blast, and we would have killed their creature, and they once again would not have had a win condition. And if we didn't have to put in as many artifacts and equipments as we do now, then there would definitely be more room in the deck to include more answers. That way we can interact a little bit better, clear the board for our creatures, protect our creatures, because I think having Galvanic Blast and a couple counterspells would really help the deck become a lot stronger. Until that happens, I think this deck is it's going to remain on the weaker side. So I think the deck is somewhat resilient with the fact that the equipment stay on the battlefield, but if you don't hit a Kazul's Toll Collector or the Toll Collectors keep getting removed, then the deck becomes significantly weaker. It struggles a lot. But overall, a fun deck. I think there's a little bit of potential. Maybe in the future, this could be an actual, probably not tier 1, but maybe like tier 2, tier 1.5 at the strongest deck, and just something to keep in the background whenever we get a new equipment to play with. Also, getting new equipments, we would then be able to put in some haste enablers, as we really did want haste sometimes, and being unable to get that, if we didn't have to run 4-ofs for a lot of our equipments, then we would have room for more haste enablers. So really we're just waiting for more 1-0 cost good equipments, and this deck might be able to work. So the deck's not quite ready now, but maybe in the future. All right, and that will wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the deck and of that last game. I still don't think I should have conceded, because they didn't display a win condition, and you don't concede to infinite life, you concede to a win condition. So I just don't really see what their deck was trying to do, and then just flat out telling your opponent to concede and that they can't win when you also can't win just doesn't make a lot of sense and just rubs me the wrong way. But if you guys have any different opinions, then I'm always open to hearing different sides of stories, and maybe you guys are thinking about something that I'm not, so let me know. But I guess maybe not more importantly, but you know, the entire point of the video is about the deck, so let me know what you think about the deck. If you have different ideas, if you would do something that I didn't, then let me know in the comments below. But now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to put on my special boots and kick someone in the